This is the story of a woman who proved she is not a product of luck, but a product of unbelievable courage. If you think your life is stuck, listen to this woman's journey. It will change your perspective. From a child bride to a bankrupt factory owner to a multi-crore entrepreneur, this is courage in its purest form. Who is she? And how did she rise from nothing to everything? Today, we dive into the unbelievable true story of a common woman. Hello everyone, welcome back to Home to Hope. Today's episode is not just a story, it's a journey. A journey of a girl who was told she is nothing. A girl who was pushed down again and again. A girl who had every reason to break. But instead, she rose. Today, you will hear the real, incredible, unbelievable story of Kalpana Saroj, a common woman who transformed her life from misery to millionaire. From victory to visionary, from pain to power. Sit with me, listen closely, because this story has something for every woman sitting in silence thinking, will my life ever change? Yes, let's go into the chapter 1. Born into darkness. Kalpana was born in a very small village in Maharashtra. A Dalit girl, a poor family, a society that didn't respect her existence. From a young age, she learned a painful truth. Some people don't need a reason to treat you badly. They just do. But what was even worse? She was married off at the age of 12. Yes, a child sent into marriage she didn't choose. A home she didn't know, a life she didn't understand. Her in-laws' house was not a home, it was a battlefield. This part was the darkest days of her life. She faced insults, starvation, physical abuse, emotional torture. Every day she cried, every night she prayed. Every morning she woke up with new wounds inside and outside. At an age when children play, Kalpana learned how to survive pain, and one day she finally decided to return to her parents' home. But instead of support, instead of understanding, her village treated her like a shame. A girl returning from marriage was labeled bad, a burden, a failure. Kalpana said later in an interview, I knew I had no value in their eyes. That day, I decided to create my own value. But before that strength came her breaking point. This is the moment that almost ended everything. One day, after being constantly humiliated and told that her life was worthless, Kalpana attempted to end her life. Yes, she tried to take her own life. Just imagine a young girl sitting alone in a corner, believing she had no future, no opportunity, no identity. But life had other plans. Her aunt found her at the last moment and saved her life. That moment, that breath between life and death changed everything. Kalpana realized something powerful. If society wants to destroy me, why should I help them? Let me fight. That rise begins one stitch at a time. Yes, Kalpana moved to Mumbai, a city she didn't know, a world she couldn't imagine, no money, no education, no support. She worked in a garment factory for rupees 2 per day. Rupees 2. She stitched clothes. She cleaned rooms. She lived in a slum. But The fire inside her had finally awakened. She saved every rupee, every coin, every day. Her dream, not luxury, not comfort, her freedom. First step to success, to become an entrepreneur. Yes, she decided to become an entrepreneur. After saving for months and months, Kalpana bought a small sewing machine. She began stitching clothes from home. Slowly one customer became two became 10, and soon she opened her first small tailoring shop. But life was still testing her. Her father needed surgery. Her siblings needed education. She had to be both the provider and the protector. And she did it. Without complaining, without fear, she started taking government loans given to backward caste entrepreneurs. She studied how business works. She learned how to manage money, and she kept growing. This is the turning point of her life. Company Tubes. Years later, something unbelievable happened. A company called Company Tubes, worth crores, was collapsing due to huge debts. Thousands of workers had no salary, no jobs, no hope. They asked Kalpana for help. A common woman, a woman with no formal education, a woman society once rejected her. She looked at the factory, she looked at the workers and said, "Let's rebuild this." And she did it. She negotiated with banks, spoke to government officials, handled legal issues, motivated workers. Within a few years, she turned the dying company into a profitable empire. People who once mocked her now respected her, now admired her, now called her a miracle woman. The unbreakable strength of Kalpana Saroj. Do you know what her biggest strength was? Not money, not power, not education. Her biggest strength was she refused to let others decide her worth. She refused to remain the victim. She refused to give society the final word. She refused to accept that her life was over at 12. She rebuilt their identity, brick by brick, tear by tear, day by day. Today, Kalpana Saroj is known as one of India's top entrepreneurs. She is often called the real-life slumdog millionaire. But she said something beautiful in an interview. "I'm not the product of luck. I am a product of courage." I repeat again, she said, "I am not a product of luck. I am a product of courage." What her journey teaches every woman. And this is why I brought her story to you today. Because somewhere one woman listening to this is tired. One woman feels defeated. One woman believes she cannot start again. One woman believes her life is over. But listen closely. Kalpana had every reason to give up, but she did not. And neither should you. Your story is not finished. Your strength is not gone. Your life is not over. You are one decision away from your comeback. And this is the closing phase of this episode. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If Kalpana Saroj's story touched your heart, let it also touch your courage. You're stronger than you think. You're capable of more than you imagine. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If the story inspired you, if it gave you courage, then don't forget to like the video. And if you want more stories and guidance that lift you up, please subscribe to the channel. Your one click really helps this community grow, and it helps YouTube to share this message with more women who need hope. And if you know a woman who might need this story today, share it with her. You never know whose life you might touch. This is Home to Hope. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and keep rising.